Congratulations on that. Thanks so much. Thanks for coming to Santa Barbara. Yeah, you live here. It's my hometown. Oh, cool. There he is.
Gotta be here.
My God, here.
You look amazing.
I was here early. Yes.
And then one looking
You were made very candid.
And then right here for Fritz.
Looking back this way for me to start with, really quick, right here, guys. Rob, looking back this way. Cillian.
Straight ahead.
Down in front, Jen.
Hey, there he is.
You slide back to the left a little bit. You slide back to the left a little bit.
Let's see again. Back to the right, guys.
That was insane. All right, let's get moving. This is not my only award I'm accepting tonight. That clip reel was bananas.
Isn't it though? Mike McGee put that together.
Great job, dude.
And-
My gosh.
So you've been busy?
This is so wild. This is so surreal. By the way, thank you all for showing up. I really appreciate it. Because I think no matter how well things go for you, and it's been a pretty good year, you always wonder, are you going to show up? And they're like, Robert, just be advised that it's a little bit light out there, okay? I don't know if it was the earthquake in Malibu earlier, or maybe all the rain. Some people are just, dealing mitigation. I'm not sure. So, thank you.
What goes through your mind as you watch all those versions of you, all those snapshots of you?
What was that show? This Is Your Life?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that. It is wild. I mean, I know, that all happened. I don't know. I don't think that's what would flash before my eyes if I went, like careening over a cliff. It'd probably be more like, mommy or whatever. But I appreciate it, and I'm so proud to be here at the Santa Barbara International Film Festival. It's really cool. It's really important. I shouldn't have read up on it because obviously I knew, but it's so renowned, and there's all these people here, and it was so exciting on the street. Yeah.
Was it destiny that put you in this chair and on that screen?
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
I planned every step of the way. I am just a really weird planner, which is why it seems so circuitous and at times desperate. Every conscious decision I made came from the highest moral psychology imaginable. And I just happened to land on my...
I deserve that for asking a pretentious question. I deserve all of that. No, what I mean is, you were literally plopped down into your first movie, which was your father's movie, Pound, at age 5.
All right, we have 2 Pound fans out there. Thank you. Let me, because I love you and respect you, and it's such a pleasure to be sitting here with you, these many years after having first met. I think this is what I was supposed to do.
Yeah. Did you? And you fulfilled then, I was going to say that word destiny again. Don't do that, Leonard. But
Are you judging yourself already? This is going great. This is Leonard Maltin. He can do no wrong. Cheers, buddy.
back at you. Did you ever consider doing anything else?
Well, I worked at a sandwich shop. I worked at a shoe store, but I had sticky fingers and I got fired after 2 weeks. This is before those closed circuit cameras where they monitor who might be stealing. I guess I just wasn't very good at it. And I worked in clubs, and I worked at Thrifties in Santa Monica. I made it to busboy, but I didn't really have the panache to be a waiter, I was told. So I had to resort to theater.
Yeah. Several years ago, you made a wonderful documentary, a very poignant documentary called Senior, about your father and his unusual life, unpredictable life, and your role in it and how it affected you and how you affected him in turn. And if you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. Go home and watch it. It's really good. And in it, you try to come to kind of a reckoning of how your life went off in one direction as opposed to another, and with him, and then, I don't know, we all try to make our peace with our parents if there's any unfinished business. And I got the sense that's what you were trying to do.
Yeah, it's funny too, because around this, anyway, the first thing that happened with this kind of like new phase I'm in is during the pandemic, I was just like, all right, maybe we should shoot something. And I knew my dad was not long for this earth, and so we, honestly, as a way to kind of distract myself from the fact that we were probably going to lose him soon, and knowing that all he ever cared about was, hey, what's the next project? And I was like, well, we were thinking we'd do something. He goes, no, I don't want to do a documentary about me, but, you know, I got some ideas. I was like, great, let's go shoot those ideas. And then I said to my wife, Susan, I go, so Senior doesn't really think we're doing a documentary about him. She goes, what? He's going to do this other thing. And she said, all right, this might wind up really biting you in the ass. And in a way, it kind of became the story of his life as an artist and stuff. But anyway, to me, that was really the beginning of this new kind of phase I'm in, is that Senior is probably one of the most important projects I've ever been involved in.
And sometimes those personal pet projects can go askew because you're too close to the subject, almost to have any kind of perspective.
Yes.
But you're very open about it in the film. We sort of watch you struggling with
Oh yeah, I mean, if you watch this on Netflix, I'm like calling my shrink, like, I don't know if this was a good idea. And there was a certain point where we had this cut of it, and again, Susan and our producer said, this thing makes no fucking sense whatsoever. This is like a Downey Sr. movie. It has no context. It makes no sense. She goes, this needs to have in Act 1, 2, and 3, this needs to be about his films and your relationship with him during the course of his career, and now the stage he's at, and knowing that part of this documentary was going to be losing him, it became very like, just so, kind of like now, just very surreal. And, but this is how, and you've been, you know, around this and part and parcel to this for, you know, ages. It's like, this is how us weirdo artists kind of process our lives. We do movies or documentaries or theater or shows or whatever, and that's kind of what it takes for us to understand and you know, manage life.
And you involved your young son, and that's very, very moving part of the film.
Yeah, by the way, today was a great day. I woke up, first of all, big win, and I was tired, and we'd done this Q&A with Chris Nolan, Cillian, and I had done this Q&A with Chris Nolan. I think it was probably the last Q&A we were gonna do, and I got Chris to jokingly say, I love you, man. which was a big breakthrough. So I was tired this morning, and then right when we left to come here, there was an earthquake. And then I was like, when? And I had this really weird, like, deja vu. After the 94 earthquake, everybody came up to Santa Barbara. All us dumb Hollywood types are like, it's safe in Santa Barbara, get up there right away. And we came, and I was at the San Isidro Ranch, and I get out of the car and I go, Christian Slater's here. Great minds think alike. And then Chris and I are, smoking a cigarette or whatever, and we turn around, and Tom Petty strolls by. And we're like, that's why we couldn't get the Kennedy suite. What was I talking about?
Your son.
Oh, yeah, my son. Thanks. Just keep me on track. Anyone feel free to get me back on the road at any point. His birthday was just a couple days ago, and then his birthday party is tomorrow. So this is maybe my favorite weekend I've ever had already, and it's just getting started. Thank you for joining.
That's great. That's great. We're just a warm-up for the Super Bowl. But to introduce the first couple of film clips tonight, we've invited an old friend of yours, who in fact, if I got to, a schoolmate of yours?
Oh, yeah.
Who just happens to live around the block.
Yes. I wanted to make it convenient for him because he's very in demand. He was also and remains a great role model for me about how to conduct yourself personally and professionally, and how to have longevity in essentially a cutthroat business, believe it or not. And yeah, I could not be more pleased.
Well, let's bring him on then. I'll say hello to Rob Lowe.
Hey, Rob. Come on, brother!
Hey, everybody. What a great night this is, huh? I mean, how great is that man? You know, I've known Robert Downey Jr. since my freshman history class at Santa Monica High School. Samo High. And I have watched my lovely friend's truly fantastical journey that has eventually brought him here tonight. And Robert's story is one of being a once-in-a-generation charm, talent, intelligence, empathy, and courageous performer. It's also well documented how courageously and hard Robert has fought to have the life and career that he has today. And none of us can truly understand the terrible difficulty of addiction or getting out of the Brat Pack. Now, maybe I know. Anyway, from the minute this young pup appeared on screen, he had a spark, a flavor, an energy that was unlike anybody else, period, but certainly unlike anybody else in our orbit. He had an intelligence, a sly sense of humor, but also the rare thing which is the additional combination of deep, deep humanity and pathos. And as his work has grown and as he has grown, those elements have only gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And to see him celebrated the way he deserves to be in this season for his work in Oppenheimer, but also everything he's done is fucking amazing. Our first clip package of the night contains one of my favorite movies of the 80s. I often get asked what I think they are, and most of them are mine, but there are some. Less Than Zero. I mean, come on. I mean, by the way, when you watch these clips, I want you to think about the level of, seriousness isn't the right word, but the level of quality in the performance, in the writing, in movies that were supposedly young people movies. When we were doing them, I don't know how much we thought of them. Not much, right? But you know, 25, 30 years later, to go back and look at your work in this, it's insane. So we're going to look first at Less Than Zero, and after that, Chances Are.
I love you, brother. Come on. The one and only Rob Lowe.